What the hell are you doing here?
Hey, look! Isn't that Cassidy?
Don't change the subject, you sad little...
Why don't we settle this over ice cream, huh, John? Just like in the good old days.
How did you get up here? I don't want anyone to see you. Everyone, even the most hapless of creatures, has a gift. Something that makes them special, that makes them worth knowing. Foul-smelling Weekly is no exception. No matter what he does, it's impossible to stay mad at him for too long.
This bourbon shake is delicious. Want a taste?
You know I don't like milk.
Your loss. So, Joe Dunn hangs himself and leaves his gym to his daughter, which makes her the first woman to run a boxing gym, I think.
I don't think Dunn killed himself.
What? Do you have a suspect? Any leads?
No, it's just a hunch. Although... I haven't identified the murderer just yet. Well, it doesn't really matter. It's just a hunch. I wouldn't bet my life on it. I've got other suspects, like O'Leary, the bookmaker.
Desmond O'Leary? The same O'Leary who used to date Helen Moore? America's sweetheart? Now that's a woman.
And then there's the Walrus. Who was that guy?
Come on. You've never heard of Frank Cassidy? The president of the Boxing Managers Association?
Who's also Stone's agent, Bobby Yale's rival.
Hey, he might have a motive, right? He might know something about Dunn's death, right?
I decided to ask Weekly to investigate Cassidy. My reasons? Weekly was right. Cassidy could have had a motive to kill Dunn. Weekly had already proven to be nosy. The farther I kept him from the gym, the better. But with Weekly, you just never know what the best approach might be. Should I give him an order? Or a subtle suggestion? Yeah, you might be right about Cassidy. But, it won't be easy to make him talk. He seems like a pretty tough cookie. Only a thorough and efficient detective could pull it off. But the problem is, I already got enough on my plate.
You're a lucky man, John Blacksad.
I don't follow.
You just found the thorough detective you need.
Oh, of course. What a great idea. How did I not think of you?
Hey, don't sweat it. But you'll have to do me a favor. Tell Sonia Dunn that a legendary journalist from What's News wants an interview.
Weekly, please.
Well, if not, bye-bye, Cassidy.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
Great. That's settled then.
By the way, I never told you what happened to Colbert, did I?
No. What happened?
The rhinoceros came by and offered me money to keep quiet.
Wow. Are we talking petty cash or big bucks?
The latter.
That's my boy. Good job, Blacksad.
Half the money is yours.
Yeehaw!
So, was there really someone on the roof?
Yeah, but he was faster than me. I couldn't get my hands on him.
A fast spy and a slow detective. This must be my lucky day.
big, bright eyes. Looks well rested. Either she didn't mourn her father, or she really knows how to work that makeup. Nice and steady heartbeat. I saw you arguing with a guy named Cassidy. What did he want?
Remember the fight that needs to take place in order to save this gym?
Well, Cassidy manages Yale's rival, Stone, the reigning champion.
If Bobby doesn't show up, he'll lose money. Maybe not a lot, but enough to care.
Did you find anything interesting in those papers?
No. Investigation work takes time, as I'm sure you know.
Smirnoff.
Joe Dunn, the boxing coach. You hear anything about his death?
Blacksad, is that you?
You got me. How's everything, Chief?
Oh, I'm fine, thanks for asking. Too much work as usual. As for Joe Dunn, he hanged himself in the story. I'm too busy, John. I can't afford to put a single man on the case. Why are you asking?
Joe Dunn's daughter hired me.
But I still don't get it. Any signs of foul play?
His pupil, Bobby Yale. No one's seen him since Dunn hanged himself.
Well, his coach killed himself a few weeks before his big fight. Must be drowning his bad luck in booze in some gutter somewhere.
So, are you gonna help me?
I wish I could, John. Anyway, I'm afraid I don't have anything useful to share. And it seems like you don't either. But if you do find something, give me a call.
We've been friends for a long time.
And you think this is what two friends talk about on the phone? Good to hear from you, John. Take care.
Thank you, Mr. Blacksad.
Does the postman always leave your mail on the floor?
I don't know, I...
What's wrong?
It's my mother's wedding ring.
Had it been stolen?
I don't know. My father wore it on his pinky finger after she died.
Not always, apparently.
Will you find out why?
I'll try. But there's something else I'm worried about. This might have something to do with, with your father's death.
Oh my, yes. It could be. Will you please give me a moment?
Of course. Okay. Mary put the wedding ring in the envelope and wrote Sonia Dunn on it. But why did she have the ring in the first place? Were Mary Purnell and Joe Dunn an item? What if Mary's birthday is the combination to the safe?
Yes?
Feeling any better?
Yeah, I guess. Thanks.
And there it was, Mary's birthday, a week prior to that very day.
You open the safe?
Yeah, and I think you need to see this. Can you tell me what it says?
All right. I think this might be useful for the investigation, Mr. Detective. He left everything to me, except some boxing trophies and knickknacks that'll go to Bobby Yale.
When was it signed?
It was written 4 years ago, just weeks after I moved to Buffalo.
Do you think Bobby Yale read it before he disappeared?
Maybe.
All right. Thanks. I never would have taken Dunn for a gun owner. A few bucks. Just petty cash. I know you're hiding something.
What?
Happy birthday. I just found out it was a week ago.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. I'm sure you received wonderful presents. For example, your date of birth used as the combination for Dunn's safe.
My goodness. I can't talk here. My shift is over in 10 minutes. Can you wait a while?
Can I get a refill over here, Mary?
Coming right up.
Mary Purnell, the angel Joe Dunn found in his golden years.
We'd been seeing each other for almost 2 years. It all started with, well, weekdays I start cleaning the gym at dawn, before my shift at the diner. Joey always came in early, just a little after I got there. He used to say it was the best time for the worst task of the day.
Oh, I know exactly what he meant. Say no more. Paperwork.
He really hated it. One morning, he saw me crying. I was having a rough day and...
He tried to make you smile.
He pointed at the coffee machine. You need a cup of joe and some fresh air. That was the first of many cups on the rooftop.
which is where Dunn seduced you.
That word is a bit too much, Mr. Blacksad. You might be too young to understand this, but real love has little to do with seduction. One day, we realized those rooftop coffees were the best part of our day, so we began to spend more time together.
But you never told anyone. Why did you keep it secret?
For Sonia's sake. She and Joey drifted apart after her mother's death. He was afraid that our relationship would only make matters worse. Until one day, on the rooftop, we realized just how serious our relationship was, and we decided to turn those moments into a lifetime.
So he asked you to marry him.
Yes, of course. He gave me the wedding ring, and we decided to tell the world. He said he needed to share that happiness with his little girl. Turns out, he wasn't that happy after all.
What about you? How did you feel about telling Sonia?
Maybe you already noticed, I have a slight cold. I really should be heading home.
Maybe you should cover your neck.
I lost my scarf a while back, not sure where. And now, if you'll excuse me, that's my bus stop. A pleasure to speak with you, Mr. Blacksad.
Joe Dunn or Joey Dunn?
Huh? Nobody called him Joey. Well, maybe his wife. Although, she didn't call him anything after she died.
Did you know Joe Dunn had a gun in his safe?
No way, man. He hated firearms. Although... when Bobby Yale was a teenager, he went through a crazy phase. Even dropped out of the gym and joined the gang. Nothing serious. Early one morning, he broke in the gym. Joe was already here and caught him red-handed. Bobby pointed the gun at Dunn and ordered him to open the safe. So, Joe opened it and asked Bobby to put the gun aside, leave the gang and start boxing again. I got here 5 minutes later and found Bobby crying like a baby in Joe's arms. Then he just stood up and put on his gloves.
Not all folks are as open-minded as Dunn. I happen to know who painted the lockers. Arthur Tucker.
I knew it! I knew it was him, that bastard. I'm gonna whip the white out of him.
You see, I've got this friend. He's a journalist, and the thing is, well, he would like to interview you.
Why?
A woman running a boxing gym? That's quite the story.
And how did this friend of yours find out, exactly?
Well, I might have said something.
I don't even want to hear you. I just hope you prove your professional worth before the day is over.
I never asked about the gym's insurance.
That's exactly what I'm reading now. So far, it looks like your standard small business policy.
I think I know who had your mother's ring.
You do?
On second thought, I don't really know.
Not knowing seems to be one of your strong suits.
Smirnoff.
You're gonna like what I have to tell you about the Dunn case. I found racial slurs painted on the lockers at Dunn's gym. He was pretty open-minded about racial issues. Maybe his death had something to do with that.
John, half of the crimes in this city have racial ramifications, unless you have solid proof that it wasn't suicide. My hands are tied.
You're gonna like what I have to tell you about the Dunn case. Dunn and the gym's cleaning lady were about to get married.
Great. Call What's News. They'll know what to do with
The combination on Dunn's safe was her birthday. He even gave her a ring. You know, your typical suicidal bliss.
Okay, I'm still not convinced, but I might have something for you.
Life is often off-key, like a bad song. The notes come together but feel flat, unable to create anything resembling music. And yet, there are ways to string them together to create harmony. Ways that are not always entirely in our hands.
You look tired, John.
You look pretty tired yourself.
Yep, I'm beat. I'm starving. Just got back from the annual police medical. Not only did I have to fast, but I also had to chug 2 enormous glasses of water. John, you alright?
I've had better days, and I'll have them again, I hope.
We both deserve to. The thing is, I'd love to help you out with this case, but I can't. You know I work for the state of New York. If I had any information, I couldn't share it with a private eye. Even if it was lying on top of this table.
You drank 2 huge glasses of water. How are your kidneys coping with that?
Yeah, you're right. Maybe I should go to the... If you'll excuse me.
Interesting.
Now I feel even thinner. So do my kidneys.
Thanks.
Truth is, John, it all seemed clear to me before, but now... Please, promise me you won't take the law into your own hands. I'd like to think we're not just vigilantes.
I'll try, but sometimes there's no alternative.
All right. In any case, keep me posted, will you?
Friend, you can count on it.
Take care, John.
As always, Smirnov had given me new, potentially relevant information. Not to mention second thoughts. When an old dog like him gets that serious, one must be prepared to bite.
Just turned off the grill. You all got about 25 seconds to order your last burger before it goes cold, you bastards! Hey, if it isn't Miss, I'm so sorry. Well, I'm sorry too, because we ran out of sissy menus. Your dad and brothers ate them all. So, You got anything to say to Sam, little kitty?
You see this fist? I almost used it to beat up a rhinoceros today, but I ended up headbutting him instead. So this fist is actually feeling kinda antsy.
Okay, just kidding. Relax. What about a free burger?
I have to admit, I was hoping to get something in return for that first hamburger. But now I don't really know why I brought this. The cynics would say I did it all out of selfishness, just to feel better about myself. Who cares? All right. Dunn punched a paint can, but why? Wasn't he calm and composed? I'm much taller than Dunn, and I can barely reach the noose. There's no way Dunn hanged himself. Not on his own, at least. Bobby Yale. I don't know if you had a motive to kill Dunn, but you certainly had the murder weapon.
What the hell? Hey, Jake, give me one good reason not to smash in your face. What the hell are you doing in my locker?
I'm a detective. That's what I do.
Yeah, and my friend too. But that's what I thought.
Off me.
Sometimes, John, I could just punch you.
Why do you have that pen, Jake? What mess are you in? Okay, Jake.
I told you.
Desmond O'Leary.
Huh?
I know you work for him.
Now you're just making stuff up. Why would you say that?
I saw the shamrock in your locker. I know what it means.
Okay, let's say you're right. So what? What are you gonna do, huh?
We're pals. I won't do a thing. But please, tell me the truth.
Okay, I guess I should have said something. Business isn't going that well lately. Natalia was my last well-paying job, and it's been a while. Then O'Leary shows up and offers me a bodyguard contract. What was I supposed to do?
You could have said no.
Yeah, like you never take, shady business.
I've done things like that, and worse, but I'm not proud of them. I've also said no more than once.
Hey, O'Leary might run an illegal gambling operation, but it's not like he's killing people or conning with us. And I'm just a bodyguard. I make sure no one gets hurt. What I do, including my contract and paycheck, is 100% legal. How bad can that be?
Yeah, you're right. The fact that his business is illegal doesn't turn you into a criminal. We're only accountable for our own actions. But that's not what bothers me. I know you're covering up O'Leary's role in Joe Dunn's death.
Huh? O'Leary? No way. I mean, I don't think so.
Jake, please.
Well, I guess there's no point in hiding it now. I was here the day Dunn died.
Go on.
I had to take care of some business for O'Leary. He makes me wear the shamrock when I work for him. As you know, I left the damn thing in my locker.
Say no more. You came in the back door.
How did you... Yeah, that's it. Joe had mentioned he'd been painting that afternoon, but I forgot. I stopped in my tracks when I saw him screaming bloody murder at Bobby Yale at the top of the scaffold.
What exactly was he saying?
Something like, if you do that, I'll call off the fight and make sure you never set foot in this gym again. I didn't want them to see me, so I left.
Jake, why didn't you tell me?
See, I knew you'd be mad.
Obviously.
I'm sorry, John. I should have said something.
Don't worry. We all make mistakes. Time to go. I need to think about everything you just told me.
Thanks, John.
Dunn must have punched the can while he was arguing with Yale. I guess that explains why he threatened to call the fight off. Christ. Did Yale kill Dunn just because he wanted to call off the fight?
I always knew Bobby had issues. But I never thought he'd go that far.
I couldn't say. In my line of work, you really shouldn't jump to conclusions.
But the chest expander, the box in his locker, the marks on my father's neck. It all leads to him. In any case, that doesn't change a thing.
It does, actually. Now we know he didn't kill himself.
My father's still dead, and you still haven't found Bobby Yale. Nothing has changed. Opening the safe and finding my father's will won't help us achieve anything. So please hurry. Time's wasting.
Sonia's indifference never ceased to amaze me. But most importantly, why was she so opposed to Yale?
John Blacksad? I think I owe you an apology.
Do I know you? I don't seem to remember your face.
Well, maybe you remember my boys. I'm so sorry they wrinkled your suit. The thing is, they didn't know we shared a common goal. Bobby Yale. I want to find him and get to the bottom of this as much as you do, Mr. Blacksad. So please, kindly accept my invitation. Why not share our findings? Come on.
Of course. You don't mind me riding in this fancy car with a wrinkled suit, do you?
Aw, I think you look mighty dapper, Mr. Blacksad. Although, if those wrinkles were to rub off on me... I always play it nice and safe. Thank you, Blacksad. You won't regret this. So let's cut to the chase. I need Bobby Yale to fight Stone. There's just too much money at stake. So, I'm offering you my help to find Yale. Let's work together.
I always work alone.
You know, if everyone worked solo, many people would suffer. Look at me. I could go it alone, but I don't. Please, hear me out. Let's say I bet a beer that we find Yale in 3 days, and you bet a beer that we don't. In 3 days, one of us has to buy the other a beer. Is that so bad? We're simply two grown men using our money and free will to conduct a small private exchange. And most importantly, we're not hurting anyone. So, yeah, I run a gambling business. What's so bad about that?
It's illegal, for starters.
Illegal? Let me tell you what should be illegal. The way our government is ruining America. We live in a so-called free country. A place where honest people can make a living, provided they don't hurt anybody. We're not communists. Well, at least I'm not.
I would have never thought otherwise. As for me, I'm not either.
Ha! Well then, you see, we're all among friends. In any case, that's not my point. The government betrays our nation's values by passing communist laws that forbid an honest man like me to make a living without hurting a soul. And that, Mr. Blacksad, is just wrong. I'd even say it's unconstitutional. Do you get my point now?
All right, I get your point.
Ha! I knew you would. When the government passes these laws, there's only one legitimate weapon the people can wield. The same weapon that turned America into a great nation. Civil disobedience. So, as the proud American that I am, it's my duty to disobey.
You're bending the truth to justify organized crime.
Oh, no. It might have been organized crime, but not anymore. I wasn't always a boss, you know. No, sir. I started at the bottom, when Lucky Blitzen ran the show. That good for nothing. His was a reign of terror, extortion, violence, you know, that sort of unpleasant thing. When I took over, I decided I'd make people want to do my bidding. Not out of fear, but out of gratitude. I decided to help people so they would help me.
That beating your thugs gave me was really helpful. Thank you so much.
Those poor bastards didn't even know you were a detective, that you were on our side.
Maybe at first. But when they tied me up and beat the socks off me, they knew very well who I was.
Seriously? That goes against my rules. Who was it?
Yeah, the two of them.
Bastards. But don't you worry. I'll have a talk with those two. I cannot tolerate this behavior. Please accept my apologies, Mr. Blacksad. You see, a lot of people work for me. Many families depend on my business. Not only that, St. Christopher's Hospice practically lives on my donations. The widows of my late employees are set for life. Their kids get free schooling. The cops leave me alone because they know my business doesn't hurt anyone. On the contrary. And, it looks like we're here.
Yale's apartment?
I told you, I'm on your side. Go ahead, search the place. I'll wait down here. When you're done, maybe you'll change your mind and share your findings with me. Or not. It's your call, Mr. Blacksad. I'll make sure you're suitably compensated. Colbert! Wilson!
The worst thing about O'Leary's boys dropping by isn't the beating, but the fact that I can't tell what's theirs and what's Yale's. Doesn't seem like the best food for a boxer. Then again, it could be your classic bookie thug lunch.
Bobby seems like a nice kid, but I barely know him.
17th century French fables. There must be one boring old lady. I'm not sure how Yale's love of pickles will help me crack the case, but it's good to know. A woman's fragrance, almost angelical. That means she's been here recently, but why? What does Sweet Mary have to do with Yale, the murder suspect? Why would you want such a big closet for so few clothes? Unless someone emptied it recently. Nice chain. So, you like your mob stories, don't you, Bobby? Seems like Bobby inherited something more than boxing skills from his father, besides the tendency to vanish into thin air, of course. Judging by the general state of the apartment, they were leading a quiet life. Copy 1 of 3. Do you know any of his relatives?
His father, Avenarius.
Avenarius? The boxer poet? Didn't he disappear 20 years ago? With people like O'Leary, you just never know. I didn't want to put Mary at risk. Why not take her a little something instead? I've never trusted angels.
Mr. Blacksad? What a...
Surprise? When they fall, they turn into demons.
Joey told me he was going to spend the afternoon painting the gym and that Bobby would be fixing something up on the roof. So, after I found the body and called the police, I went to Bobby's place, but he wasn't there.
So you knew that Yale was with Dunn when he died, and yet you told no one.
I guess I just forgot. Everything is so confusing. I'm sorry, Mr. Blacksad.
Don't be. I'm here to figure it all out. What's your relationship with Bobby Yale?
He was like a son to Joey, and we were about to get married, so, you know.
Okay, I think it's time to set things straight. I know you were cheating on Dunn with Yale. Or was it the other way around?
No! How can you even think of something like that?
How can you convince me otherwise? I found a picture at Yale's apartment. It's you and him on a roller coaster. Care to explain, Miss Purnell?
I'm not white, Mr. Blacksad.
What?
7 of my great-grandparents were white. The 8th was black. According to law, I'm a black citizen, even if my skin says the contrary. Do you know what that means when you're born in North Arlington, Alabama?
Segregated schools and a worse education for colored children.
We even have different water fountains, for God's sake. The separate but equal doctrine and all that.
That garbage.
And all the lies. That's why I moved here. No one knows what color my great-grandparents were.
I'm black too, and I don't hide it.
Well, at least you're a man.
In any case, what's that have to do with Bobby Yale?
He's my nephew, Mr. Blacksad. Joe and I first started taking care of poor Bobby when my sister died. That was when he was almost 15. The three of us went on that trip to Luna Park.
So this is where Joe Dunn comes in.
Bobby was the only one who knew about me and Joey. We were afraid that someone would use my past to ruin his career.
It's not the first time I hear that story. I'm sorry I accused you so lightly.
Don't worry, I understand.
Mary smells like... Actually, the whole room smells like a pie fresh out of the oven, so I can't identify any other fragrances. TV and radio all in one. Where will these mad times lead us? Fresh out of the oven. The whole room smells like pie. About Sonia Dunn and the ring. I managed to hide the truth from her.
I appreciate it, but at the same time...
What?
No, nothing. Maybe she has a right to know.
Are you sure you don't know where your nephew is?
I've looked everywhere. He's nowhere to be found.
Don't worry. I'll find him.
Thank you.
Your secret is safe with me.
I believe you. Thanks.
That cherry pie smells so good. I'm starting to get hungry.
Thanks. I pulled it out of the oven right before you arrived. Oh, where are my manners? I'm the worst hostess in the world. Let me go get a knife from the kitchen. And you must be thirsty. Let me see. OJ? Coffee?
I'll take some coffee, thanks. She's wearing the same clothes in both pictures, so she's probably telling the truth. That's some beautiful artwork you got there. Now that there's almost no pie left, the scent has also disappeared, Interesting. Now Mary smells like a huge dog. Mary, when are you gonna stop lying? I know your nephew is here. I can smell him.
What? No. I already told you I don't know where he is.
Look, I understand why you're protecting him, but it's in his best interest to end this hide and seek.
You can search the whole house if you want. Go ahead. He's not here.
Wait a minute. She's not the one who smells like that. That's where Bobby Yale's scent is coming from. So, that's why you were sitting there.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. Could you step aside so I can check, please?
Please go.
Mary, for Christ's sake, put that knife down, would you?
Leave or I'll...
Mary, I came here to help.
I mean it.
I don't want to hurt you.
Leave her alone!